Welcome to the Big Success Show. Today, 4 signs it's time to abandon ship.
Big Success with the Professor and Mary-Lynn.
What in the world?
That's in the ship, Mary-Lynn. I'm getting ready to abandon it.
Okay, as long as it's a ship. I'm not sure.
Yes, it's a ship. I hope it is. Well, in our last podcast, we said that persistence is the single most important ingredient to your success.
Right, if you persist long enough, you're sure to succeed.
Let's hope so, right?
Yeah.
However, you have to be smart about it. There are some internal and external signs that you need to be aware of. Hi, I'm George, the Professor.
I'm Mary-Lynn, and we hear it all the time. Successful people stick to it. They don't give up. They try and try again. They get knocked down and they get back up. But sometimes, in spite of all that effort, success is still elusive.
Yeah, so what should you do?
Here are 4 signs that it's time to abandon ship.
Abandon ship! That's the opposite of all aboard.
Your bong is just cracking me up. All right. So, as the professor mentioned earlier, there are internal and external signs. So the first 2 signs are internal signs. And the first one is that it's affecting your health. Your health is way more important than any career. So if you're suffering from anxiety attacks, experiencing constant stress, feeling burnout or fatigued, these are indications that it may be time for a change.
Now, we know to succeed big, you're going to feel stress from time to time. Mm-hmm. So you need to push on unless it's affecting your health long term. Nothing is worth that. Mm-hmm. If your long-term health is being affected by what you're doing, it's time to abandon ship.
See, I didn't even have to go find the sound effect today because George is my sound effect factory.
There you go.
So, and I believe that's royalty free.
All right. So I'm charging Mary-Lynn.
Yeah, so we won't get flagged.
I'm going to charge you. You get the bill tomorrow.
Excellent. What's this line, Adam? It says it's a big All right.
Try to put that in writing.
Second internal sign that it may be time to abandon ship is that you're just bored beyond belief. So you've been there, done that. Every day feels like a week. It's harder and harder to get out of bed in the morning. You don't look forward to work. You feel like you're stagnating.
Yeah, the first sign covers your physical health. Now here, we're talking about your mental health. When you're bored to tears, it's time to abandon ship.
And this even goes a little bit beyond boredom because there's, what is the word I'm looking for? The emotion I'm sensing here that it's not it's you've checked out. You know, mm-hmm. you're just going through the motions, and there's nothing behind it. And so that's something you definitely want to look into and make a change because you don't want to live life that way.
No,
Life's too short.
It makes for a long life.
Yeah.
And not a good way.
All right. So today we're talking about 4 signs that it's time to abandon ship. We just did the first 2 signs, which are internal. Now the next 2 signs are external. And number 3 is there's no room for growth. This is related to the second sign. However, in this case, it's beyond your control.
Yeah, it may be that you've been promoted as far as you can go. Perhaps you can't expect any significant increase in your income. Maybe your company is reaching maturity. You've taken it as far as the circumstances will allow. If there's little to no opportunity on the horizon, it's time to abandon ship.
I didn't think that one was going to end. Okay. And then our 4th sign that it's time to abandon ship is that the trends are bad. You know, change happens. It affects your industry for good or bad. If it's creating damage, ask yourself, is it a trend or is it a fad?
Such an important question. Fads are short-term. They're going to come and go. Trends are long-term things that you can't change. Now, you know, if it's a good trend, that's fantastic.
Right.
But if it's a bad trend and it's going to last for a long time, that's not so good. There's a great quote by none other than the Warren Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha. Mm-hmm. But he said, when a management with a reputation for brilliance tackles a business with a reputation for bad economics, what we're saying is these bad economics may be kind of coming at you. Mm-hmm. It's the reputation of the business that remains intact. In other words, you can't fight the trend, right?
Right. And, look, we don't doubt that you're good. Maybe you're facing a trend head on and you're very good at what you do. There's no question to that. But it's really tough, like you just pointed out, to buck those trends.
Yeah, so if it's a fad, push on. But if it's a trend that's devastating your industry, abandon ship.
Right. But don't just jump ship. You got to prepare your lifeboat.
Absolutely. And the first part of that is to store up provisions. Find ways to save some money. Skip that latte or pack a lunch until you get settled. Set that money aside to provide for you and your family.
Another way to prepare your lifeboat is don't forget your life jacket. This is your support network. Talk to people who will encourage you, weigh in on ideas, and perhaps refer you to good opportunities.
The third thing is to remember your compass. Obviously, you need to know that you're headed in the right direction. So check out our interview with Mark Victor Hansen and Crystal Dwyer Hansen on finding your life direction.
Right. And Mark Victor Hansen, if you don't know that name, you might know the name Chicken Soup for the Soul. Mm-hmm. He's behind all of that. Anyway, it's a great interview with those two, and we've got a link to it in your show notes. Another thing you need in your lifeboat is your oars. Mm-hmm. So don't forget to take your oars. You don't want to just float, so grab those oars. These are things that you can do to steer yourself in the right direction, like taking a class or getting a part-time job in a field that you might be interested in.
And finally, bring your flare gun. Prepare to market yourself. Spruce up your resume and cover letter. Think creatively so that you get the attention of the right people.
We love this big quote, and that's big with 2 G's. Mm-hmm. This big quote comes from George William Curtis. He says, "It's not the ship so much as the skillful sailing that assures the prosperous voyage."
Oh, yeah. So remember, you are the captain of your own ship. Usually, you will persist and stay with the course. But occasionally, the best thing you can do is to find a new ship and start your journey anew. It leads to big success.
Is your voyage pointing you to go back to school, start a business, or relocate? Find the money you need to fund your dreams with our Financial Freedom Tool. Learn more at financialfreedomtool.com.
And we thank you so much for listening today.
Until next time,
here's to your big success.
Find big success at biggsuccess.com.